Welcome to Greg Hjorth's Greatest Hits. The following game was played in the Australian Championship of 1977-1978 in Perth in Western Australia. Greg Hjorth was just 14 years old and he's playing against the godfather of the Victorian juniors, Bill Jordan. Jordan was just a few years older than the generation that came through of Hjorth, Johansson, West, myself, Stephen Solomon, and he had quite a good record against most of us. But in this particular game, he falls to a player rated well below him, but who was having a rather good tournament for his debut in the Australian Championship. The following position looks quite innocuous. The black queen has just moved from c5 to a5 after white played d4. It looks like it's a roughly equal position. White's hanging pawns could become weak if he goes passive, but instead Hjorth found a terrific idea. It's not winning, but it's very close to that. He played rook takes f7. So if you take with the rook, of course, queen takes a8 is very strong. So Jordan took back with the king, queen b7 check, and here black missed an absolutely fantastic defense. He played king g8, which looks like the obvious move, but if he had played knight d7, allowing all sorts of discovered checks and giving away the knight with check, things are not so clear at all. The difference with knight d7 between knight d7 and the game is that after white takes that knight, king g8, knight takes e6, then there is rook takes rook check by black, and he's not going to get mated. He can defend with queen f5 check, queen f7. So rook takes rook, king takes, queen f5, followed by queen f7. White may be better, but it's not. Probably it's more likely to be about equal. Instead, Jordan played the obvious move, king g8, and after knight takes e6, he realised that there's basically no defence against the mate on g7. The only thing he could do was play knight h5, because if he goes knight e8, rook takes rook is mate. But after knight h5, knight takes f8, he suddenly realised he couldn't take back on f8, which was presumably his original intention, because white would just play queen back to b3 check and mate on the back rank. So instead, he's down a couple of pawns. He tried rook d8, and Hjorth just moved his pieces out of the way, and in fact, well, he's still close to mating. The rook could have gone somewhere else, but then queen f8 check would have mated. Instead, he allowed a queen sacrifice, and Hjorth mated with rook. He's going to mate with rook f8. Jordan resigned. So a spectacular little combination. It turns out there was a defence, but nonetheless, it was very hard to see over the board, and Hjorth got a deserved victory there in the Australian Championship of 1977-8.